I thought we would watch and then break down this interview with Kelsey Grammer and his return to playing Hank McCoy's Beast in Avengers Doomsday, and his confirmation that he shares a scene with all the X-Men, Thor, Reed Richards, and Doctor Doom. Let's give it a watch and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
I can't sit here with you and not ask you a couple questions about Avengers Doomsday.
Okay.
Everyone is so excited to have you back. What was it like getting to reunite on screen with your X-Men co-stars once again?
Well, what's fun is, I mean, in the old one, I worked with Hugh quite a bit, and with Hallie, and then some with Patrick. It was so fun when Patrick did Frasier. He was hysterical.
Yeah.
But that was kind of it. In this one, we really actually did work quite a bit with one another, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about, but it was fun to interact with people I hadn't acted with before. I love the character so much. I always wanted to do him again. I want to do him again now. I mean, there's...
You're not done.
I hope not. He's just wonderful.
Who were you most geeked out to meet, to interact with from the cast?
Thor and,
A little Chris Hemsworth
those
action?
guys.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Robert Downey Jr. I love him, and he's just a terrific fella.
You get to share a scene?
Well, it's sort of sharing a scene. I don't want to go too far.
He's trying to not get
I don't know
fired.
what I'm supposed to say or not say. With the new guy from Fantastic Four. Pedro, yeah, Pedro.
Pedro Pascal.
Thanks, Pedro, wonderful guy. I mean, I really, really enjoyed hanging out with him, and we worked together.
You worked together. You shared a scene.
James Marsden.
Yeah,
we
great guy.
never really worked together. By the time I was in, he had been dissolved into just his glasses floating in the air, and I was like, so it was nice to see him alive.
So, guys, I grew up on Frasier, if you couldn't tell, and I just absolutely adore Kelsey Grammer. I remember seeing X-Men The Last Stand at a very difficult time in my life. I want to say I was like 8, and my parents, they had just separated and were about to get divorced, and my mom took me to see X-Men The Last Stand. And I mean, at the time, of course, an 8-year-old boy, I loved it. I also, of course, loved Spider-Man 3 when I was a kid. We all did. And going back to X-Men Last Stand, I really loved Kelsey Grammer's interpretation of Beast. And I remember years after that seeing Days of Future Past. And when he popped up for that brief moment, Kelsey Grammer as Beast in that new future, that was so cool. It was awesome. And while I, as someone who did enjoy the Marvels, I'm not like casting shade on that movie. I don't think it was by any means perfect, but I thought it was a, perfectly just fine a good movie. Good. It wasn't great. It was good. Anyway, I would still say that I think my favorite part of that movie was the post-credit scene with Kelsey Grammer back as Beast. But in like this full-fledged CGI, version of the character, giving him a more comic accurate appearance, but still looking and sounding like Kelsey Grammer. And, watching Grammer in this video geek out about getting to be in this movie and wanting to do it again, and him being so excited to be involved, it has me even more excited that he is involved. And I loved hearing him talk about getting to, have scenes with the other X-Men that he didn't get to have scenes with or act opposite of in Last Stand, like James Marsden Cyclops. He name dropped Thor as a new guy that he's getting to work with as well. And Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal. The Reed Richards one, that wasn't as much of a surprise as the Thor one was, because Nightcrawler actor Alan Cummings, he kind of already spilled the beans on that one. Basically, he confirmed that we are going to see Reed Richards interact with the X-Men because he has a scene where he's punching Pedro Pascal. Now, the Thor one, though, that's fun, because I assumed that we would see like the Fantastic Four and like the Earth-based Avengers like travel to the X-Men universe, perhaps pursuing Doom and Franklin, but then somehow, Thor is also in the mix, but like elsewhere, like not a part of that thing. Like in Infinity War and Endgame, we have the different teams doing different things. And we know from a set picture, spoiler warning, if you don't want to know anything, this was a picture shared by Chris Hemsworth's stunt double. So ready? Okay. We have seen from a set image that the Thing, Falcon, John Walker, and Thor, they share a scene at the TVA in the room right outside where the temporal loom once resided and where Loki was last seen before taking his throne. So they're going to Loki. And maybe that is at the end of the movie. And maybe the third act of the film brings all of those heroes together as they are pursuing Doom. In fact, I think that's it. I think Thor and perhaps a team of Avengers and the Thing, maybe all the heroes converge on Earth 616 to meet and talk, and then they divvy up and they go on their things. And Thor, just like he did in Infinity War, goes on his separate mission where he went to make Stormbreaker. He and like Falcon and John Walker and the Thing, they could say, okay, we need to go get to Loki. And maybe that's where, maybe Shang-Chi is with them. Maybe that's where the beacon within the 10 rings is leading to. I mean, it sure does look like it. And then Reed and some of the other Avengers, they could say, okay, you go do that, and we're going to go to the X-Men universe to get Franklin. So they're chasing Franklin and Doom, who probably also has Sue. And then that is where we could see like a fight go down in the X-Men universe, and like the Avengers and Reed and maybe Johnny and some of the X-Men, including Beast. They end up chasing Doctor Doom, who is now leaving the X-Men universe and is on his way to dethrone Loki. So maybe they're chasing him, and that's where all of these paths and different storylines throughout the film then converge, and we'll see like Doom versus everyone. Like he gets to Loki at the same time as Thor and the gang, and Doom is being chased by X-Men and the other Avengers and Reed, and then they're all there and they all fight Doom. So maybe they're like trying to protect Loki, but ultimately Doom wins and takes the throne. That would be awesome. But you know, I'm saying that's the third act. Maybe that could also just be the second act of the film, and God knows what happens in the third act. Here's the other thing. Right. Okay. I'm on it, guys. The holidays are coming up, so I wanted to share with you a cool new game console by the sponsor for today's video, The Next Playground. This is a game system that has full body motion sensing technology, meaning your entire body becomes the controller. I love a present that you can unbox immediately and start playing with the whole family. And this is exactly what I'm going to be bringing to my holiday get-togethers this year. It's super easy to set up, it's plug and play, no complicated equipment needed. I'm personally really excited to play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, but I know my nephews are going to be looking forward to playing the Bluey game. So if you're interested in picking one up for yourself or as a gift for someone else, or hey, both, go to the Amazon link in the description below to get yours now. And when I say now, I mean like now, because they are having a Black Friday through Cyber Monday sale, and by using my link in the description below, you will get $50 off your order. This game system is so much fun, guys, and I know you're gonna love it. Now, back to the show. And I think I forgot to mention, it was in the video, Grammer said that he shares the scene with RDJ, but he had like this little bit of a caveat. I'll play the clip.
You know, I'm a big fan of Robert Downey Jr. I love him, and he's just a terrific fella.
You get to share a scene?
Well, it's sort of sharing a scene. I don't want to go too far.
This kind of implies that maybe he knows that he has a scene with Doom, but that they weren't actually on set at the same time, which is very common with giant movies like this one and the giant cast of big stars, you know, and having to work around all their schedules. So it's just very exciting. I thought I would share this clip with you guys because I thought it was so cool, and I was smiling the whole way through it, so I thought I would share that with you. All right, let's move on to our next question. Hey everybody, Colton here, and this is the mailbag style show where I take your questions about Marvel, Star Wars, DC, movies and streaming in general. Whatever you want to ask, send it in at the email address askcoltonnow@gmail.com, and hey, maybe you'll see your question featured right here on the show. And guys, I get a lot of questions sent to the mailbag, and I wish I could answer every single one of them, but sometimes I just cannot get to them all. But if you are a channel member, that does guarantee that you get one of your questions answered right here on the show every show. So if you want to support the channel in that way, it is very much appreciated. And remember, the show is now on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the podcasting places. So please, if you've got a sec, give the show a download. It really helps us out a lot.